don't go to combat, we don't think about that part of it, like blue on blue. We don't think about that part of it. In fact, when you think blue on blue, you think like, I mean, all right, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because all the video games I've ever played, you can't really do blue on blue.
Yeah, a lot of them they don't allow, like it's not part of the game.
The bullets just go right past or through the guy without hitting. You can't, like, you ever play Contra?
No.
You can't shoot the guy. Bro, you're right behind him, shooting him through his back. It goes past him. See what I'm saying? It's not part of my freaking psychology. See what I'm saying? But in real life, it's not like that. So yeah, I would have never thought, hey, you should train that.
Dude, I was a new guy and I was in my first platoon and we were down in Florida and we had the old laser gear on, but we were doing a danger crossing. So we're going across a road. And as we were crossing the road, we had contact. And as we had contact, like I returned fire a little bit into my field of fire. But as I was shooting, like, let's say to the right, there's I wasn't shooting across the road, but what I didn't realize is I was shooting to the right. All of a sudden, I saw my point man come running back across the road. And in my mind, I was like, I did not know he was there. Like, it was just one of those things where we're walking and, you know, it was in my mind, I had like a mental blue on blue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was like, dude, you did not know that guy was there.
Yeah.
And I realized how bad these things could happen, right?
Yeah, man.
But luckily, you know, my field of fire I was a radio man, so my field of fire was like off to the right. And so I was like looking off to the right. We started this danger crossing and I didn't see that my point man had gone across the road. Like, you know, you're doing a little setup, you're putting the machine gunners in place. There's just stuff going on, and then all of a sudden, pick up, and I started shooting to my field of fire. And then a few seconds later, I see my point man running back across the road. I didn't know he was over there. I missed it, you know? And I was thinking to myself, I just had a mental blue on blue. I was hard on myself. But those things are, and, you know, who's it? Stonewall Jackson went out on a recon and we got shot by his own men and he died. You know, that's the Civil War. This stuff happens.
Yeah.
So definitely need to train hard. And that's what these guys are doing. Let's get back to it. Captain Thomas M. Fields, commanding Company D, 2nd Battalion, 26 Marines, D226, formed and equipped a 15-man assault squad of 3 teams. Quote, the basic assault team had flamethrowers, bazookas, and satchel charges, said Fields. Each man was a rifleman with advanced specialty training. Most other Marines in the company knew the basics of these weapons. This practice was widespread and represented a significant change from the Tarawa assault, where a handful of combat engineers had to provide all flamethrower and demo support, and the infantry had no rocket launchers available. So they learned lessons, right? You can't just have one guy that knows how to operate the flamethrower, or one guy that knows how to set up the satchel charge to blow up a bunker or something. You got to get everyone learning all the jobs. Captain David E. Severance, commanding Company E228, took pains to provide tank infantry orientation for his men. He commented, quote, they not only learned how to talk over the bustle phone on the rear of the tank, they also took turns riding in the bow machine gunner's seat, using that weapon to mark targets for the main gun. Severance had his men dig foxholes, then tested their nerve and validated their digging skills by driving tanks over occupied holes. The Marines also learned how to retrieve casualties in a hot zone by straddling a wounded man with a Sherman tank, pulling him into the tank through the bottom escape hatch. Lieutenant Colonel Robert E. Cushman, Jr., commanding 2-9, also practiced this technique, then used it successfully on Iwo Jima to rescue one of his wounded company commanders. So being familiar with your various things that you're going to be out on the battlefield. And you know what's crazy? When we first started working with tanks, we first started working with them in training. And we'd go out to Fort Knox and we would, luckily, the Army would come out and drive tanks around for us. Dude, like, you know how the pedestrians have the right of way? Yeah. In, like, on the streets?
Sure. Yeah, hell yeah.
The pedestrian does not have the right of way with a tank at all. In a tank, cannot see you, will not feel you, cannot hear you yell.
Will not feel it.
It is 100% the responsibility of the human, the soldier, the Marine, to get the hell out of the way of that tank. That thing will just run you over. And you kind of have a little bit of an instinct, just a little bit of an instinct that a vehicle moving towards you will slow down.
Right.
You just have it, dude.
Right.
And the reason I know that is because I'd see like new guys, they would start walking as if this tank gave a shit. As if the tank could see them. You know, and we'd brief the hell out of them. Like, hey, this thing will absolutely run you over. You will die. This tank does not see you, can't hear you. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It's just going to run you over. Mm-hmm. And that was good because when we got to Ramadi, not only did you have American tanks, we had Iraqi tanks too. So the Iraqis, I mean, they definitely aren't as skilled. Yeah. So it could get really chaotic. You got to get the hell away from those things, man. It's crazy too. If you know where they're going, then you can use them for cover, right? Right. But if they're going to start turning, bro, get the hell out of the way. So that's so smart for this guy to like get familiar with the tanks. And the other thing that's good about it is, well, we drove Humvees, and you know my guys were like a freaking NASCAR pit crew on the Humvees, flat tire, freaking had the little like impact wrenches, guys pulling out this, zip tie that, you know, like everyone's good to go, and we could rig for tow in 30 seconds, 20 seconds. We had everything staged and ready, and you know it was all like zip tied in loosely, so it would just break apart. But that's how you got to be. Got to be ready for that. Continuing. Many of the company commanders in the 5th Marine Division were former Raiders or Paramarines with combat experience in the Solomons and Bougainville. Fields and Severance were in this category. So was Captain Frank C. Caldwell, commanding Company F226. All three applied their former Paramarine experiences to small unit training. Our goal was for each Marine to be familiar with every type of weapon the company would use in combat, said Caldwell. Added Severance. We wanted every man to be ready to assume a higher level of responsibility. Our PFCs were taught how to act as squad leaders. The veterans also taught basic battlefield survival skills to newcomers. Years later, some of Captain Field's surviving non-commissioned officers paid him a tribute, saying, "You taught us everything we needed to know about hunting and killing Japanese." So that idea of making everybody really flexible, this is something that they picked up because they knew that they were going to lose people. Like, you are going to lose people. You're going to lose people that have expertise with certain weapon systems, and you're going to lose leaders. So everyone has to know how to learn operate all these weapon systems, and they have to be able to step up into the more senior leadership position. And believe me, we did that all the time in TRADET. We were killing dudes all the time. Kill that breacher, kill that corpsman, kill that chief, kill that platoon commander. In fact, the better they were doing, they were getting killed. Yeah.
And when you say killed, you mean like you for the scenario, like your breacher's dead.
Yep. The breacher's dead. The assault force leader's dead. The assault chief is dead. Right. Like once you saw that the assault chief was good to go, you're like, yeah. Like I would just like come walking towards them. And they would have the look on their face like no. It's like the Brad Pitt movie where he's death. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He plays the death.
Meet Joe Black.
Yeah, Meet Joe Black. Yeah. I was like Joe Black. Like I'd be looking at like a platoon chief just walking over, and you see the look on his face, like, "Don't take me now. I'm not ready to go." He'd be like, "Hey, bro, it's not about that."